What tests a man's reality is what he's willing to build through his faith in action. Quentin with Legacy Wealth Advantage. How you beautiful people doing? Today I got a lovely podcast for you. Hope you're having a beautiful day. Again, my name is Awesome Q, aka Quentin Edwards, better known as just Q sometimes for the majority of the time. I'm with Legacy Wealth Advantage, and today I'm going to be talking about Legacy Wealth Advantage. Welcome to the podcast, a school of independent thinkers or for independent thinkers. The reality of today's podcast is just speaking on opportunities in life. Been doing a lot of recruiting lately, been doing a lot of interviews lately. I've been talking to a lot of people directly and indirectly, been talking to myself, always amidst creating and venturing through my own personal affirmations and the reality of what world I'm trying to build for myself, my family. Things need to change on a day-to-day basis, whether they're big, little, minor, or major. The reality of what a man or woman, in man's reality, what they're willing to have faith in, and whatever faith means to you. I don't mean the whole spiritual, religious word in faith. I'm just talking about faith. A leap, a jump, the reality of knowing that you have to put in work to build whatever you want to build in life. A lot of people are scared to build nowadays. That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm seeing. When you present people with opportunities and it demands anything besides instant gratification, there's always a problem. There's always a cough, a choking point, because the reality is a lot of people can't do anything but handle security, which is what this world has been laid upon, one brick at a time. Unfortunately, I don't know the Pacifics. I kind of do, kind of don't. In the Pacifics, this is this. Our reality, somehow, some way, between marketing, our Great Depression, when a lot of things changed back in the day, technology advancements, the world has changed. It's a lot of more convenience. There's a lot of more. What comes with convenience has a major trial and error to it. What comes with security, as far as what was back in the day but is no longer in effect for us millennials, for example. You got to be prepared to change with things. So Legacy Wealth Advantage, agency I created, we're a final expense agency as of right now. We just focus on one product, one goal, one residual structure through one great carrier. This was the specific way I wanted to build wealth, to be able to supplement the flow of income that I'll be building from this agency and channel it into other investments and things I want to do in life. The broker world was very appealing. Don't get me wrong, trick of all trades. But there's a lot more complication that comes with it. Obviously, there are very successful brokers and broker agencies in this world. It wasn't a reality I want to get into, and I don't recommend it for people unless that is 100% your career and you want to build a structure through health, life, and security. Obviously, there's huge money in annuities, mortgage protection, and all those type of realities and realms without getting too specific. But the trick of all trades is a trick. Each company has its own different commission structure and plan. Usually it's most of the time tied through the agency, which is very simplistic for them. They just keep you at one thing for everybody. But just because that's how the agency pays you doesn't mean all the other little simple stuff goes away, like renewals, commission structure through the actual company itself, different actual working apps, or some still just use paper. Every system is different. Some are simplistic, some are very complicated. My viewpoint of the insurance world was to get on a great residual structure and build. Not have 10 different residual structures that I use for 10 different reasons and have my money spread 10 different ways. I didn't want to diversify early on, or kind of just period. Yes, there's a point in life where you should diversify in certain elements, in certain ways, in certain investments. But the reality is, it's not a time. One at a time. You want to build wealth, you got to build a sufficient flow of income. If you got 100 here, 100 there, 100 here, and I'm killing you with just 800,000 with one flow, and I'm able to take that 800,000 and dump it off into other things, then that's when things get complicated. You got to build one sufficient flow and don't rely on it. That's when you start building other things, because things change. But usually industries have points in times where things get hard. It's called recessions, great recessions, depressions. I wouldn't say insurance was bulletproof, but it's an industry that is a $1 trillion industry between all three major exchanges of security, life, and health. So we're always going to need health and life insurance, and the investment side will always be a good supplemental factor into both of those sides. As long as humans are around, insurance period will be around. So we don't really struggle in this reality here when times in the economy gets rough, because people still need this stuff. Like I said, we take a little bit of hit because people can't afford as much, but they realize they still need it. And the people that still have it definitely still want it through a recession. So they definitely get tighter on that chokehold with that. Legacy Wealth Advantage was created to be a specific factor of people wanting to build wealth in life. I created it as a vehicle because that was my reality of it. I wanted a vehicle to supply to people that were looking to change their lives in whatever way. Usually it's a mental, physical, and spiritual change that's needed in life, because that's what I needed, yet again. The 9-to-5 reality was never for me. I was never searching for security. I was searching for a passion with football, and to keep a long story short, which actually I described this story in previous past podcasts. The reality is I failed. Typical athlete, had the scholarships, between pride, ego, and just not handling business, I failed at my dream. I thought I was going to take my dream, do some other things with it. I always wanted to get into the business world, but I never knew how, what side, what reality. What came to a point was I failed. I could have easily went and been a great coach somewhere, big time between college football and pros. But that reality, at the end of the day, just didn't seem fulfilling enough for the life that I was looking for. Yes, it would have been an immediate experience, a great thing to do. There are plenty of coaches that make a lot of money, but not the type of money I want to make in life. So what I ended up doing was taking a jump in the decision of what scared me the most. Obviously, if you take a coach, specifically with the certain connections I could have built, and definitely the work was going to be nothing, I was going to be around a sport that I love, it would have been easy to do that route. Entrepreneur, not knowing anybody, knowing what to do, where to start, how to do it, and why to do it. I mean, nothing was there as far as the fundamental what, why, who, where, to, from. I mean, you go down the list. Ground zero. Scared the shit out of me. So my reality became, this is what I want to do, because I know once I push through this, wow, what a time and day it'll be like to sit on my deathbed and say, this is what I've created for X, Y, and Z. Because I know nothing, I knew nothing, I knew no one. So it was tough. And the whole time you still have to live up with one thing that's always going to be one of my biggest regrets and failures, which is failing at a dream that I've vividly dreamed out forever, since 7, 8 years old when I started playing football. And 2, knowing that you're going to put everything into this. I mean, this is by any means get rich or die trying, 50 Cent type of atmosphere. I'm putting my life on something that is going to be built. And a lot of people outside of maybe Marines or other failed or successful athletes, I mean, or just regular people that just had enough, maybe near-death experiences, you name it. This is do or die by any means type of atmosphere around here, because we're going big places and we're doing big things. My reality was I'm going to put everything I have into this and build. The 9 to 5 reality wasn't for me because even at an early age when I started working, my first job was at Kroger's. I knew something wasn't right about this. Didn't know what structure. You know, at a young age, you don't know. I'm just thinking I'm not used to this yet. I'm ungrateful. I mean, I've had all those insecure thoughts about why I never liked working for somebody. The only thing that always got me through it was because I always said to myself, I ain't gonna be here forever. I'm just doing this because I got to. I need some money. I gotta get gas for the car. Mama said, you know, I gotta take care of the car if I want the car. All that type of stuff. I was doing what I had to do as a young man. Because cutting grasses wasn't going to really get it. I didn't have enough clientele. Just had a few. That was pretty much the extra money that I did extra things with, like go to the movies and stuff. Because mama didn't have it. Still don't to this day. So when I used to go to these jobs, and when I got older, you know, after the failed football dreams, all that type of stuff, I used to ask people, how the hell have you been here for 10, 15, 5, 6 years? How do you do it? They hit me with that. I already knew what was going on. It's like that old head talk right there. Them old heads talking to you. That shit. I don't know. I'm like, what you mean? Because I'm like, I've been here. The longest job I ever had was at Walmart. 2 years. And I have to be the most miserable person on the earth. Now, this doesn't have to be everybody's experience, right? It's just coming from me. A true born reality entrepreneur, I would guess, knowing that I didn't like when people talked to me anyway, as far as the upper management. I didn't like people telling me what I need to do, when I need to do it, how I need to do it. I didn't like people telling me I need to be here at this time, this place, etc., etc. Now, it's a degree that you'll always kind of have that. Whether you're your own boss or not, you still have a reality that you need to stay in as far as certain rules that you have to play by. But we all know it's different than going to that 9 to 5. There was no structure. The networking there was horrible. People complaining about every single little thing, just like back in high school. People worried about the wrong things. People bickering and telling on each other. I mean, typical stuff that I didn't want to be a part of because I knew it wasn't taking me anywhere in life. And oh yeah, like 70-80% of people in the United States, I was living check to check and I didn't even have real bills to pay yet. When I say real, I was paying bills, but I didn't consider them real bills because I didn't have the whole American false dream reality of putting mortgage. I had a child, so definitely had the child theory down. I just finally got on some insurance, a car note, phone bill. Basically, my mama took me off of every single little thing, which I'm not mad at because it was time. And she couldn't handle that reality anymore. Plus, I wanted to tell her and show her, you know, I'm a big boy now. I'll handle it. Appreciate you, everything you done for me. But I pay big boy bills now, everything down to the T except for a mortgage, because I don't want a house. I don't want that trap right now. Not looking to settle down. My reality is I had like a rent, and I think that's it. Didn't have a car note, insurance, and all that stuff yet. Now I was helping mama pay some of that stuff, but it wasn't like it wasn't big, and I couldn't scrape past that. And that was the $10, $11, $12 job. It's a trap, people. But mainly what really got me was the fact of I would go to work and just be purely miserable. Because I realized I would walk in a building, and sometimes, especially when we lose that hour, walk out and be like, man, it's a completely different like atmosphere, day, you know, everything's gone. I would work 7, 5, 6 days out the week, like most people. Not 7 days out the week, 4 to 5 days out the week. So it's like trying to do things on not your time, set appointments, spend time with the family. I mean, you lose all of that. Now, don't get me wrong. As a true entrepreneur now, I plan and do everything I want to do. But every day I study. Every day I'm building. Because I have to create the freedom I want, which is what a lot of people can't understand with this opportunity. You don't come in and just have freedom. You do. Because we try our best not to micromanage people, specifically when we tell them we don't like to micromanage people. But our reality is, when you made the decision, quote unquote, to take the jump, which is exploring and finding different realities in life, as far as growing up and wanting bigger and better things out of life, we're going to kick that into you, or we're going to kick you out. Because we have a standard, we have an atmosphere that we want to live and abide by. I'm wanting to help people change their life on a physical, mental, spiritual level. Legacy Wealth Advantage was literally created for the fact of people like me that finally started dreaming again and didn't know what to do with all the things to do out here. Looking for a vehicle to use to supplement other things in life, such as real estate, business ideals, goals, whatever that is for you, or just to get that freedom that you want in life, whatever that's with, as far as time and money. And most times both for people. So I wanted to create the opportunity. The opportunity is here for you. We go out, we serve and assist, and we put protection plans in place for families looking for security amongst the unknown, amongst the inevitable, because we all must go at some time and day. We all hope it's not too unexpected, but when do you ever really expect the reality of dying unless you're told that you're going to die from cancer or something? Nobody knows. Nobody has a date of death. The reality of what we do is very surreal, because I truly cringe when people are at zero. You got to get from zero to something. Zero to something. And just because you have something doesn't always mean it's the best investment place. Because I get calls from old people or inquiries from old people all the time with the wrong investment plan in place. Such as, I just got only insurance on the job. It's not enough. That's not a reality, because there's no security there. Because when you get fired, laid off, quit, retired, whichever one comes first, all of them at the same damn time, which it can feel that way, or they just switch providers on you, or go from zero to something. Something to nothing. You're screwed. It's like 10% of the people, probably less than that I run into, that actually had insurance on a job they was with 30, 40 years and got to retire with it. The only reason they did because they got grandfathered into the old clauses and rules. Trust me, they didn't want you to retire with that insurance. So many people are retiring, trying to retire, want to retire, can't because they realize they lose things like life insurance and health insurance. They're trying to wait to 65 to retire because so they can get Social Security, Medicare, and all that type of stuff. Hey, our reality is cold. So Legacy Wealth Advantage creates the opportunity for you. One of the things that I'm just simply realizing is that a lot of people don't want to create because they don't believe in themselves. People, you got to believe in yourself. It's a lot of things that implemented me into wanting to be what I want to be, specifically at a young age. One of them, like I said, is my biggest, it's the pain that I felt in life at losing that dream and understanding what I wanted to do next to get some redemption out of it. I feel like a complete failure in life. And I want to redeem myself from something that everybody around me knows I should have had the reality of doing. I should have at least played college football and been a pretty damn great college football athlete. Now, going to the pros, I mean, it's so unknown, right? It's one of those things to be the 1-2% that actually gets drafted, get to play on the team. And then when you do, the reality of staying past 2-3 years. It's just like every other statistic. 90% of people go out of business in the first 6 months. So this is the same real statistic here, because as soon as you come over to the self-employed world, you better be ready. A lot of people are scared to make the jump. The jump here is as simple as this. You don't jump with a parachute, people. You jump with nothing. Hell, I don't even care if you don't have clothes on. What you determine is at the other end of that jump is on you. You determine it. Whether it's a body of water you want to jump into, a haystack filled with mattresses laid on top of it. I don't know what's a comfortable landing for you, but you don't have a parachute. Most people jump and they try to hold on to that edge or that tree. You know those little cartoon skits where people jump and they sitting down there hanging on to the tree stump and limb and all that? No. You jump, you either hit rock bottom, and you still have the reality of getting back up, people. Let's know that failures do happen out of taking jumps. But the failure doesn't have to be over the fact that you don't even take the opportunity and make the decision to do what you need to do. People tell me in my interviews and waste my time, energy, and efforts. I'm ready for this. I'm ready for that. I'm ready to build. And we can't even get past that step. I'm calling back a day later, and they done thought about it, implemented. I don't know who they talked to and what they meditated and prayed on, but they basically tell me they're ready and to go from W-2 type of employment to 1099, on ball, self-employed, building, etc. And then somebody from another job offers them a job that pays them $2 more for what they was getting paid, and they go right back to it. It's sickening to me. It's just this 1 week alone, it's been about 5 people that said the same thing from a follow-up call from me on getting them ready and going in our industry. Obviously, they weren't the right fit here, I understand, but the Q&A, or not the Q&A, the T that I'm trying to give you here is that a lot of people can't mentally and physically speak, because you got to have all three. If you want to do work like this in life, you got to have all three. And the reality, people can only connect with one or two, and not even, most of the time they can't even do any of them. Got to make the jump physically, spiritually, mentally. You want to move on to bigger, better things in life, but something that sounds better up front comes by and swoop you off your feet because you're just fundamentally scared to move past the scary points. This was scary for everybody that's made this jump in life. As far as entrepreneur, businessmen, Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, I mean, name them. Name somebody successful you know and admire. They had to make a jump. They had to do things that were uncomfortable. Every day, I try to do something uncomfortable, such as when I go to see a client, going to knock on some neighbors' doors. That isn't always my favorite thing to do, but I realize and I understand that in my industry, that's the big money. That's the difference between average and superior. That's the difference between me doing this for the 5-8 year mark that I want to, as far as getting to $1 million, versus me doing this for 10 to 15 years, then finally getting to $1 million. I'm not looking to take a decade just to get to my first $1 million. That's ridiculous. I'm looking to take a decade to get me to the goal that I have in place of making some real money with some real assets and getting some big money and big things in place. So if you're looking for that opportunity, if you're looking to make a jump, if you're looking to build, if you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, I mean, I'm talking to the people that are already busting their ass, 3 jobs, working 13, 14, 15 hours a day. This is for you. If you're going to do that, I'm telling you just like this. This is the realest thing I can tell you. If you're going to work 12, 13, 14, 15 hours for somebody else and not yourself, I'd rather you do it for yourself, building at whatever that is, whatever dream, goals, service, residual structure, program, network marketing, whatever. Do that for 2, 3, 4 years, making the same amount of money you're making there, but have the mental attitude and understanding that you're with the right, you have to be with the right investment strategy, company structure. You have to understand that part. If it's there, do that for yourself. Get paid the same thing. That's fine. It takes sometimes a while to build. Nothing has instant gratification attached to it. You might not go from $20,000, $30,000 a year to 120. It's not feasible for everybody. That doesn't mean not do it. That doesn't mean stop. That doesn't mean give up. Do it for yourself and understand that the structure you have in place, the goal that you have in place will take you from 30, 40 for the first 2-3 years, and then bam, boom, you'll shoot up to 200. You'll shoot up to 150,000. Go where progress can be made rather than understanding that you're going to spend 15, 20 years doing the exact same little increment structure that they have in place. Let me give you $1.50 raise to make you happy, so I can shut you up and you can sit down. Let me give you the $2.50. That's nothing to them, people. That's nothing to them. If you're going to work 13, 14, 15 hours, struggle, bust your ass, and live check to check, do it where you can go somewhere and be forced to do it for the first year or two because you're building, or maybe even 3 or 4 years, or maybe even 5 to 10 years. But understand you have the reality that this damn thing is going to blow up one day. Bow! Just like that. Let me see if I can get some strikes in there. Ooh! Blow up just like that. Let it blow up just like that. One more time. Just let it blow up. Because that's what it takes. It takes you having that jump, keeping that faith, and applying action and effort every single day until you get what you want out of it. It's a part of the struggle. Beauty in the struggle, ugliness in the success. That's what it is. Beauty in the struggle. You must find the beauty in the struggle. Every day, I'm not where I want to be. Every day, I'm reconstructing the plan of what I need to do and what I need to do to get where I want to be out of this. Because I got other bigger, better things I need to do. I want to be a great final expense agent, of course. I want to be a great final expense leader as far as my agency and what we implement here. And more importantly, what we're looking to be obsessed with of changing people's life. I get a complete hard on, and I mean that in every physical, crazy way you can think of, inappropriate as well. When I can sit down and think of the fact of me changing people's lives based off I'm doing it, and I can help somebody else do it. This isn't no rah-rah. Like, no, I don't need to be more obsessed about you supposed to be training. You're supposed to be calling me. We're supposed to be communicating with each other. Because you're 90% of your success here. 5% of it may be your surrounding cast, such as your family, friends, and all that type of stuff. I'm the other 5% that's obsessively calling you every week, asking you what's going on. Is there anything I can do for you? Are you training? Us communicating with each other as far as one-on-one coaching, going over objections, sales training, coaching, role playing. I can't be more obsessed about you getting better than you are. And a lot of people come on board and I'm like more obsessed about what's going on, what we need to do, because I'm looking at your numbers and I'm nervous. And I'm not nervous because of the fact of what I expect out of it in my pockets. I'm nervous out of the fact of it because I'm looking at your numbers and understanding that you're not getting paid. Because I know, because I put you on that contract. I put you here and I'm doing it. You need to be hitting these numbers. What do we need to do to hit these numbers? What strategy do we need to come up with? You'll never find a guy more dedicated and wanting to be obsessively a part of somebody's success, because when you make it, I ain't gonna lie, I want that accreditation. Quentin was there. Quentin helped. Quentin was a part of this. That makes me feel good. Now, whether you give me that gratification or not, I know truly deep down it's a part of me. Now, I would think because of the type of person I am, people would give me that gratification. Because I'm actively involved in wanting to push you and drag your ass from to the finish line, which is 6 figures. No, I'm sorry, not the finish line, the goal line. After that, us employing you to get to 7 to 8 figures is way more on your shoulders than me. Seriously. Of course I'm there. Of course I'm still applying the resources and tools and abilities and connections to the complete T. Because guess what? I'm right there in front of you. Trying to look, grab, create, destroy whatever I need to destroy as far as something that's negative there to make sure we get there. Because guess what? You're not the only one that's going. I want to be there. Oops. And I got excited and hit a plate. I'm glad it didn't break. That's our reality here, people. If you're gonna struggle, if you're gonna work your ass off and be living check to check and not have the reality or simplistic understanding that you're going nowhere with that job, that's people's reality. Don't choose this industry because it was your last option. Choose it because it was your only option. Choose the industry for what it is. Something that can take you to the next level. Do not choose being a final expense or life insurance or insurance agent because it was your last option. Choose it because it was your best option. How do you know it's your best options? What are you looking for in life? What are you struggling on? Because you don't have to come in and love this. I don't love every single aspect of what I do. Let's be transparent. What I love most than anything is coaching people, training with people that want bigger, better things out of life. I'm not scared to go to work. I'm not scared to struggle at building for the first year, 2 or 3, which I'm not telling you I am, but I know some people and most people will. Some people come in and they just have a slower learning curve than most people. I didn't. But I didn't get what I wanted out of it, and I still don't have what I want out of this yet. Nowhere near close. Not even my minimum yet. But I'm making a lot of money. I'm doing what I got to do. I can recruit with my check. That's our big rule here. Can you recruit with your check? Can you show people what they want to see when they say, let me see it? Of course. But it ain't what I want. It's not what I need. I'm not getting the satisfaction yet because I'm not at my numbers. I'm not at my points. I haven't pushed to these certain expectable limits that I've have in place. I want you to be a part of a success, a infectious atmosphere and disease that we have here at Legacy Wealth Advantage. Yes, I used the nasty word infectious disease because you need to be infected with something. It's called success. It's called winning. It's called an attitude and determination to be the greatest. These are the type of people I want. These are the type of people it's needed. You can't come in with mediocreness. If you're not looking to double whatever piece of shit net worth or yearly income you made, which most people I'm talking to, average is what statistics say it says it is. Most people on average make $30,000-$40,000 a year. And guess what? I asked them, are you struggling? Are you living check to check? And 90% of them, yes. Because guess what? We shouldn't be talking unless you are. I don't think we would be. Some people have a great excuse of they're not struggling, but I don't have X, Y, and Z, such as the job growth, the freedom, the time. I'm like, damn, you only making $40,000. You don't have the time you need to spend with your family. It's like, no, I'm doing that, and I'm doing it 6 days out the week. I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Come on, I've seen it over and over again between not only personal experience, but as far as directly with my own family, but I've seen it indirectly with these people I'm talking to in the interviews. Same path, same track. I see my granddaddy do it. Hard worker, military man, retired, came home, worked at some type of factory or something. I would never see him. Monday through Friday, he would go to work at like 7, 6 o'clock to beat the Atlanta traffic to get uptown somewhere in North Atlanta. And not come home to 8, 9 o'clock at night and do it. He did it for a while, like part of my 14, 10. He did it for a long time. And I don't know how much my granddaddy make. I know he didn't make 6 figures though. Nowhere close. And I don't know how and why it was worth it to him. Maybe because of the security it came with. I couldn't tell you. We just didn't communicate enough. But what it taught me is, damn, this man works hard. I did get that appreciative skill from him. Because he would come home on the weekend and cut his grass. You know, the typical American dream and story. I promise you, down to a T. Make the grass look all cute and beautiful and stuff. And then try to do some things around the house. Nothing major, though. No real moves. No real progression. No real growth in life. He isn't struggling now by any means. Lucky one or right 2 things. Specifically, more importantly, the military check. But he's living on a fixed budget. If any one thing happens between his health, his family, his house, the economy, I mean, it could put him into a spiral spin. There's no real reassurance there, but he's decent, you know. But the more the point of the story of that is, I seen this man, like I said, go to work 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. Most of that was just to beat the traffic, and seriously not come home to 8, 9 o'clock at night. Most times, most days. If you I'm doing the same thing now, busting my ass, building clientele to get the residual structure that I need to build this big hefty income I want. And trust me, I'm going to make a lot more money than he did and has and will. Because I chose the right structured growth. I chose the right opportunity. I did my due diligence and know what I'm doing, what's going on. And there's plenty of opportunities for you. We live in a world in reality where there's thousands of things to do, which for people like us millennials can be very overwhelming. Just choosing one. That was the biggest problem I had, of understanding that this 9-to-5 shit isn't going to do it. I don't have the educational route. I'm not going to go to any corporate stuff because I don't even qualify for it, and I don't know anybody that's going to get me past those minor qualification things that they're just wanting for qualifications. They don't care if you have them. I promise you, they don't. They look at you more than, they like most people. They browse through that resume. They want to see it there, know that you did it, saw you put the work in, and just give you a shot based off the good interview you do or don't have. I didn't have any of that. I didn't want to go to school after football, after I failed at the football stuff, and I didn't even finish. Fell 12 classes short. Started making money, never looked back. School got tough when athletics went away. Trust me, it's a difference, whether you know the true meaning of that or not. But my reality is that I knew I had no better choice but to go through sales, to go through self-employed, become a specialist at something. I got my license. I'm a licensed life insurance agent. Enable and have the ability to sell life insurance and annuities. That was my only route, sales. Car salesman, health, broker route, selling health insurance. I had a couple of options in front of me. This one made sense the most, mainly because of my upline. And two, after I really started digging deeper of what this thing really truly has to employ in the beginning, I was like, man, talk about a blessing. Talk about asking the higher power for something and him sending it to you and you making the unique executive action that needs to be taken to actually take the choice and the decision. A lot of people I present this opportunity with in the best, most sophisticated structure I can of how, obviously, with wise facts and reasonings of how this is a better opportunity based off where they came from and what they're currently doing, and they still don't make. You gotta make the decision. People make it, trust me. But to me, and I could be wrong about a few of them, right? It's not the right decision. Because they stay where they at. They think something else is better, which it possibly could be. But most of the time they're telling me they're staying basically where they said they wanted to get away from. So it's just mind-blowing to me. Legacy Wealth Advantage, people. Opportunity created to employ, supplement, and give people the vehicle that they're needing to create a financial structure in life. It starts with a flow of income. Focus on a flow of income and get it to whatever minimum you need it to be at. Some people only need to be at 6 figures. Me, I want mine to be at 7, so I can take that 7-figure flow of income and multiply other flows that I'm looking to create as far as assets that I'm looking to invest into. It starts with 1, not 10 flows that equal 6 or 7 figures. That's cool and all, but when things get rough, when unreassurance, when a structure or industry starts to going through it, or when a recession hits and employs, which all this stuff happens, and 5 of them things go away, and now you're easily under 6 figures, I'd rather focus on one, specifically one that's kind of indestructible, such as in the insurance world, and then multiply other places and get them up to 6, 7 figures, wherever that minimum goal is for that industry that I want to be in. I don't want to make 10 bands here and then say, oh, I'm good because I'm making 10 bands here and it's pretty, replicable because I got a small, slight system in place, etc. I'm going to move on to trying to sell this on the internet now and all that type of stuff. I was moving too fast when I first started. So I know most people are. And I never even got the opportunity to duplicate those systems into place to where I made a penny off of them. I'm a failed network marketer as much as I believe in network marketing. The reason I failed at it because, I didn't know nobody. I tried my hardest to get out there and know people and get uncomfortable, which is why I am the way I am now. I'm pretty good at getting uncomfortable and talking to people, opening my mouth. It was such the biggest weakness I had of being a network marketer. But I couldn't make the reality work. I just, I needed something that was going to go. And I was so desperately getting very close to zero. And it's honestly one of the reasons I'm so successful at what I do now. Because I was a month away from being I was pretty much at zero when I started. I was a month away from being at negative. Just negative, period. So I knew if I didn't grind that month, it was going to be ugly. I was going to do things I didn't want or like to do, and I'm not even going to mention what those are. You just put piece two and two together if you can and will. But that's the reality. I took everything I had and I put it into this industry. I still am to this day because I understand where I want it to take me, and it's been a movie ever since. Whenever I'm getting down, ungrateful, I immediately go out to my car, which is a blessing to have itself. My Dodge Charger Hemi V8, big boy. I always wanted that dream car. I really want the Hellcat, but obviously I wasn't finna spend Hellcat money. If anybody knows anything about Dodge Chargers, but I go get grateful immediately because I start to think about where I come from, which was pretty much nothing, to where I've slightly invested into versus the people that I even talk to on a day-to-day basis, because I've talked to some pretty not well-off people, and I just get grateful, and it employs me back on the track to where I need to go and the things I need to do in life. So I'm pretty much running out of time. Pretty longer podcast than I thought, so I appreciate you if you're still listening. Follow me on Instagram at CoachQ123. If you follow me, let me know where you came from. I heard the podcast. Let me know so I can get your follow back. Shoot me a direct message. I'd love to follow you back. Follow me on Facebook at LegacyWealthAdvantage. I'm giving out the website. Follow me on Facebook. You can pull us up at Legacy Wealth Advantage or Coach Q's recruiting agency. Probably Legacy Wealth Advantage is the easiest. Same thing. Let me know so I can follow you back, etc. Hit me up if you're looking for any information on what we do as far as the specifics. Go to the site at www.legacywealthadvantage.com. It's a very beautiful site. I put some hard work, passion, and energy into it. We got photos up there. We got information. If it's something that you're interested in, fill out an application. Send me in the information box where you came from and why you're interested in all that type of stuff, and I'll happily reach out to you. This has been another lovely podcast from Legacy Wealth Advantage, a school for independent thinkers, a podcast made for independent thinkers and people wanting bigger, better things out of life. I appreciate you listening. You have a beautiful day. Stay great. Always smell the money. If you can't smell it, you're not nowhere near close to it. Get the money, find the money. A lot of people can't be successful in life because they're scared to find the money. The money ain't gonna come to you, baby. It don't just come to people. You gotta get it, control it, abuse it, and then you can do whatever the hell you want with it as far as multiplying it and it just coming to you. You gotta get money to come to you and be your little bitch before it's gonna be a little bitch to you. You take that phrase and diagnose it. Go find the money, people. Y'all be beautiful. Stay great. Peace.